Floyd and he was me,
Yeah.
he wouldn't never have to fight again because that exhibition shit,
Yeah.
as me being his little brother, hey little bro, we finna do 10 rounds and we both gonna get 100+ million for it.
Right.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well, I already been getting these bets, but now
that's
it's time for you to get your just due.
Right.
And
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good with the family, man? How y'all feeling? You had to pull up on this good Saturday, man. After a hell of a fight that those two men just gave us, man. Man, that was a hell of a fight, man. How the fan feeling on this good Saturday, man? We're going to build for a little bit, talk about this fight card. You already know, man. With it like Sat, Tenacity, Boxing, my God. Fate was good with it, bro. Double timing. Dante's Boxing Talk, my homie, what's good with it, bro? Ace, what it do? Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about, Ace. My God, you deserve it because you're a good dude, bro. He fell to his knees beating the blown up welterweight. Yeah, man, look. That was a hell of a fight, bro. For starters, I gotta say that. That was one hell of a fight. Those are the kind of fights that I know, like, the loser is going to feel gutted, but he shouldn't, like, hang his head because he fought every step of the way. He took legit punches from a super middleweight and kept on coming, bro. Like, that was a really impressive showing from Conor Benn. Maul Brooks, what it do, homie? I already knew these dudes had heart, but the level of resilience, man, that both of these guys showed, like they could bite down on their gum shields and just go at it. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. We all know Conor Benn was moving up from welterweight all the way to 160 with no acclimation, no warm-up fights. I mean, he fought at 54 before. I mean, so he kind of did, in a sense. Them making it a big deal that he fought at 60 is not as big a deal as you think it is, because I think he had a couple of fights that was up there towards like 54. So you got to think, if you fought at 54, by the time you rehydrate, you well over 160. So Conor Benn had a little preparation getting him here. Chris Eubank really killed himself. If we just being honest, we know what we seen. He killed himself to make this weight. And he did extremely well for a guy that was like depleted on the scales. Like, he looked bad. Yeah, I remember the videos. I still got them. Shout out to Twin Lamar Connor, Super Booty Band. Rematch calls that. Listen, that's worth a rematch, Zoom. That's worth a rematch. Xavier DLC. Yeah, it was a great fight, yo. Shout out to everybody pulling up, man. Y'all smashed it like, but my guy freaking fly. What it do on me? Eubank was, yeah, he was weight drained bad, bro. He was weight drained. Conor Benn looked strong in the beginning, but Eubank size wore him down over time. Hey, Roland Curtis. Hey, I like that name, man. Another Curtis in the building. Shout out to my guy Roland. But you're right. You're 100% right. He did, and I expected it to be like that because he is a welterweight. He was gonna have that speed advantage, and it was working earlier. He was utilizing his speed to outbox Chris Eubank, kind of beat him to the punch. But you can tell by the way the fight was going, it was only a matter of time. At least I knew that. I knew Chris Eubank fight was gonna be the second half. Early, Conor Benn was going to be fresh. He was going to be strong, full of energy. He was going to be on go. I knew this. So when he was getting slightly outboxed, I understood it. I was like, yeah, you expect this because he's just a faster guy. And they both can box. But, Chris Eubank got some holes in his defense. He get hit. So I expected it to go like that. But as soon as it got to about the fourth round, it popped in my head. I wonder how he going to look after round 6 or 7. And I got my answer. I knew it. I said, I think Chris Eubank is going to try to wear the younger guy down, the younger, smaller guy down. Let him, burn his, burn his gas a little bit, working, and then pick it up in the second half. But Conor Benn, man, he had a hell of a gas tank tonight. He was fighting. He fought his ass off. These are the kind of fights that win fans over. You get what I'm saying? These are kind of fights that win fans over. He fought his ass off. I'm not gonna lie, but Eubank was drained. So we knew what he was up against, right? Drained ass fighter fighting a young, hungry guy in Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying? Behind the Hands TV, my dog was good with the Eubank spot, showing up, changed his willpower. Hey man, it did. Roger was good with it. Ben got a hell of a chin. Yeah, he do. You know what I'm saying? And McQueen, my dog, Thrill Hill, what it do, homie? Ben made the fight harder than it needed to be. He only know one way. Ghetto Fab, what it do? He only know one way, Thrill. You know what I'm saying? That's come forward and go for it. Like, you'll never see him just boxing, picking his shots, going through the gears, right? He be on go. He just get in there and go for it. You know what I mean? Eubank. Yeah, he did. Yeah, now I agree with that. Yeah, Thrill. Yeah, he did. Because he could have boxed him and used the length and just kept allowing him to run in the shots. He could have just stayed patient and picked his shots from the outside and just, ran them in the shots all night. You get what I'm saying? Because, he did have that speed that was definitely troubling Chris Eubank early. It was giving him a little fits early. You know what I'm saying? But as the rounds wore on, you started to see it. Like any other fighter, that first initial burst, when you start that first set of fatigue just like level out, and you in there now you ain't throwing as many punches, your upper body movement ain't the same, you ain't getting your head off the line in time. Now you getting clipped over and over with shots, and that's exactly what you're seeing. It was like a tale of two halves. Conor Benn definitely was controlling the real estate and controlling the fight, I think, in the first quarter for sure. But around 5 and 6 is where it started to be a little bit different. And then from then on, you seen Chris Eubank shots landing a lot more cleanly. You know what I'm saying? A lot more cleanly, a lot more regularly, and looked like they was having more of an effect on him. Credit to Conor Benn because he took some real shots, bro. Benn versus Norman, that's a great fight. Rose. But you already hear him talking about WBC. He already know he ain't trying to go that way. Because Norman going to meet him fire with fire. And I think he's naturally heavy-handed and he don't got to load up to hurt you. And Norman fast, too. Norman got speed, too. You know what I'm saying? I knew he wasn't going to go in that direction. Shout out to Melanin Queen. How you feeling? Peace to the queens. Always ate them. Fans more turned than us. Yeah, it was, Mr. Grandy. What it do? Man, yeah, this was a great fight, bro. This was really good for boxing, man. Jordan, what it do, homie? They needed to get this grudge match out the way, man. Yeah, it was one of them ones, bro. They didn't disappoint. And as far as Chris Eubank, like for him to fight, knowing how hard it was for him to make that weight and for him to perform that way, It's very impressive, bro. I really thought he was going to be a little shot going in there. And when I started seeing the fight, the first few rounds, I started feeling it early. I'm like, starting to look like a guy that was affected by the weight cut. And then I had to think for a second. I'm like, hold on, it's a little too early. I'm like, it's a little too early. And right on par about midway through the fight, it started to change. You started to see a shift in the momentum. Chris Eubank started putting them rounds together. His offense, he got his offense together, started being more consistent, and he started putting hands on Conor Benn. I tell you what, had he went to his body more consistently, man, Conor might not have made it up out of that fight. Because Chris Eubank almost had him out in them last couple rounds, bro. They was going to war. Those are the kind of fights that you really got to respect both guys, man. It's tough to shit on somebody after they went out there and gave it everything. And I know Conor Benn right now, he's sick because he said he could deal with losing, but just not to Chris Eubank. And there it is, man. He lost. Think what it do on me. Wait, just that's his weight class though at 60, 160. Who, Chris Eubank? Nah, he fight at 68. Eubank fight at 68. Conor called up, man. Barrios, yeah, you already know. Dank. He said either the immediate rematch or I'll go challenge for the WBC title. And you don't know that, but I already know he wasn't gonna say no WBO. But you know, Brian Norman got something to do, and Boots got a gear soft situation to sort out. So that is the only guy that don't have an immediate fight unless he actually is fighting Manny Pacquiao, which is being reported now too. So just don't know. I hope Norman can end it as quick. Yeah, me too. Because Roger, the fight is Boots and Norman, bro. Samuel, what it do, homie? How you feeling? The fight is Boots and Norman, bro. Fight is Boots and Norman, and I don't want to see nobody lose. I want to see them get to each other, and the best man win from there. You get me? Rematch. Eubank made that fight hard for no reason. He did. Thomas said, what it do? But you know what? In spots, it was Conor Benn, yo, being a little busy bee, yo. Conor Benn was busy. He was moving. He was getting. It was the speed, bro. It was the speed early giving him trouble. And then you know Chris Eubank, a fighter at heart too. He liked to slug a little bit, so he gonna get in there and mix it up. But I like the way he bit down and push the youngin back, because Conor Benn the kind of guy, if you don't calm him down, he gonna go, right? His confidence gonna keep building, and he'll be putting hands on you. But Chris Eubank continued to find answers and have answers, and by the midway, like I said, through the fight, it shifted in his favor, and the momentum was on his side. And he started clipping Conor Benn with some really good shots, man, and knocking the head back. Conor was languishing on the ropes at times, trying to fight back, right? You can see the inexperience in spots, right? You can see that. And I'm telling you, in a fight where it's a war of attrition and your will is being tested, Chris Eubank has been in that situation more times than Conor Benn. And he's pulled it out. He's had some fights where he had to pull it out. You get what I'm saying? Some really grueling type of fights. You get what I'm saying? So even some of the losses was grueling fights, but that's great experience for Chris Eubank. He knew how to handle himself while being tired. He knew how to still attack. He knew how to still dig deep and respond. He had an answer even when he was his most tired, when he looked spent on his feet. He kept throwing punches, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Conor Benn, he a guy that kind of burned a candle at both ends with the way he fight to a degree, right? So as the rounds go on, it's extremely difficult to maintain that kind of output and energy, right? And that pace, right? It's hard to maintain that. And you can see it very early. By the time you hit 4 to 5 rounds, you see it. 6, 7, now it's settled in, and you really see that fatigue affecting his performance now. Now you get to see that, oh, he slowed down. Now you see Chris Eubank, them double jabs landing. You see the hooks is landing. Now he getting caught with some of the uppercuts. He getting caught with lead uppercuts. His head on the line extra long now. It just happens. It's just natural over time as you get tired, man. And that, that gas tank be depleted, bro. You're going to run out of, you're going to run out of steam. Hey, man. Yeah, Greg, shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you pulling up. That was a hell of a fight, bro. Eubanks made sure his jab worked in the late rounds. Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. Like, and I'll say this: in some spots, y'all, he made it difficult, but that's because of his nature, his makeup, right? As a fighter, he liked to mix it up, and he don't got a back down kind of attitude. That mixed with the fact that you think about it, y'all, he got a smaller guy trying to compete where he at, so he had to show the young man, I ain't backing down from him. So it was a lot of that at play too. The bravado, I ain't willing to take a step back. Even if you clipping me, I'm still, you get what I'm saying? I'm still be in the fire. Like Chris Eubank fought with a lot of pride tonight, for sure. And in some instances, it was getting him clipped. Just call it what it is. That pride was getting him clipped. He was getting clipped. But credit to Conor Benn, he just kept pushing, he kept fighting. When it got thick for him, like, he just kept battling back, bro. Like that I just can't. When I walk away from this fight, I just don't have nothing bad to say about these guys. Conor Benn is not a 60-pounder, right? That's fair to say. Chris Eubank ain't a 60-pounder either. That's fair to say. They do a rematch. I love to see it. But you know what would be interesting? If this fight actually happened at the full 68 instead of 60. I would love to see how Chris Eubank would have performed from the start to the finish of this fight. He messed around and got the stoppage, bro. So I think they had to kind of catch weight this fight, because 68, I think Conor Benn wouldn't have made it. Now I understand it. So, but for him to jump up like that and fight Chris Eubank and give him this kind of fight, you gotta respect it, man. Got to. Mr. Miles, what's good with it, bro? Me just rather be Ninja's friend. Right, they were just beating on each other right there, huh? Solving something. He said, I scored to the draw. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. It's that kind of, it's one of them fights, bro. It's one of them fights. Ben can fight on the inside. He need room to load up on the shot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he not the sharpest in the inside for sure. Eubank can't make 69. Great fight. More around, Eubanks would have gotten a stoppage. Yeah. I know. It's going to be extremely hard, Dank. That's what I'm saying. I think it would be interesting to see it take place at, I don't know, higher than 60, though. But I just don't think. You already seen the size difference there. I just think Chris Eubank could be like a fish out of water if he had to go any higher than what he did. So he did very well for the circumstances that it was, right? Coming into the fight, having to, eat more and blow up a bit to be able to compete with this dude. And let's be honest, he had somewhat of an advantage because he had some preparation, because he had fights above 47. So he had some type of preparation to get into 60. You get what I'm saying? He looked a lot more healthier, energetic, especially early on. Chris Eubank had to be the vet that he is. He an older guy. He had to be smart. He was depleted with the weight. He had to be really strategic as to how he attacked Conor Benn, especially early with that dude having a shit ton of energy. You know what I mean? Aggression. So it just ended up being a well fought fight. You know what I mean? Shout out to both guys, man. Yeah, Dank, I'm with you. He took them shots really well. He looked at. The only reason I wouldn't call for it, Roja, even though the fight was good, the only reason I wouldn't call for it is because if it gotta happen where a guy gotta like deplete himself again to do it, nah, I'm good on it. So it was already risk enough. So I'm cool with seeing Conor Benn just go back down to 47 and maybe fight Mario Barrios. He seems to think he got to win there. He already counting that as a dub. He like, man, I could just go down to 47, fight for the WBC title, win the WBC title. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it was a great fight, bro. Stretched out boxing. I'm gonna do the hydration made it an even fight for real. That shit made it tough as hell on Chris. Chris is out there fighting for his life, bro. Face all swollen and shit. Face all swollen and shit. Y'all buddy was on his ass. Yo, Conor Benn, I ain't gonna lie. Conor was on Chris' helmet tonight, y'all. He was on that boy helmet. And he wasn't letting him breathe. Conor was fighting his heart out, bro. Fighting his heart out, man. But I said it all along. It's not that he can punch. It's not that he's some pillow-fisted, feather-fisted guy. He just don't look like he is explosive as he once was prior to the egg situation. He don't look like he got that same snap at the end of the punches that he had prior to the egg situation. So my case in point, I knew he would have to be more of an outboxer. His only chance at knocking Chris Eubank out would have been early, catching him cold because of the weight, him being compromised and having to, like, you know, deplete himself, something like that. Catch him before he get to warm up, maybe a shot he didn't see. That was his best shot. I always said that. But as the fight goes on, it was always, in my opinion, going to favor Chris Eubank because he fights. He's very relaxed in there. And he don't burn a whole lot of energy. Like with wasteful movements, Conor Benn is a busy bee. Like he all over the place. You get what I'm saying? Especially early with all that energy. But without that explosiveness, without that same impact on the end of his punches that he was having at 47, that element is removed from the fight. Now we talking about a guy that's you're going to have to outbox. And Chris Eubank is the vet in this situation. He more battle tested. You get what I'm saying? The bigger guy, he bought his time. He gave up some early rounds, and he picked it up right when he should, man. I give Chris Eubank a lot of credit for how he pulled off this fight, bro. And I know it's going to be some people that might have seen Conor Benn winning, but for me, Chris Eubank strategically was very smart with his approach. Didn't burn no significant energy early, you know, just picking his shots, double jabbing, moving. You know what I mean? He was taking some lumps, man. He took his lumps, bro. He was taking some shots. But the moment he decided to pick it up was like spot on, because it was like at that moment, Conor Benn seemed like he was tapering down some. He tapered down. Chris Eubank kind of picked it up a bit. So it looked like it was what it was. It was like a tale of two halves. That first portion of the fight was definitely in favor of Conor Benn, for sure. Benn the type of fighter you just watch to see what happens. He's entertaining. He is. I was hoping Benn won, but the stuff, yeah, respected both. I was definitely rooting for Chris Eubank, but I like both. Yeah, he definitely has some power. He ain't no pillow fisted at all, but I just don't think it's the same. And maybe it ain't nothing with his power. I don't know. Maybe guys are just taking his punches better. Maybe the level of competition increased a bit. I don't know. I don't want to keep blaming stuff on the eggs. Conor Benn, make no mistake, he still can punch, because he buzzed Eubank a couple times in this fight for sure. Had his face all swelled up at the end of it. He definitely was fighting his ass off, but just without that element, that knockout element being present, it makes the fight more difficult for him to win, because now he has to outbox you. And as long as it's a fight like that, it's really a toss-up. And if you're talking about a guy that he talking about inactivity and then moving up and all of that stuff, you start to stack the deck against yourself. So really good fight, though, for Conor, man. He could have got embarrassed. He could have got blown out, knocked out, whatever. None of that happened. He fought his ass off, man. Yeah, me too, Samuel. He fought his ass off. Boys who cry, what it do? He just got more skills from watching two guys bigger and better boxing. Usually wins. Yeah. I'm with you, Dante. I think so, bro. Or disgraceful Shane Shanks. What's good with it? I get it, but maybe closer than what the scorecards had at Shane, but it was one of them fights. I hate the fact that the scorecards are almost ruining it, but I ain't gonna let it overshadow the fact that we got a great fight. And I don't think it was no robbery per se, but I do think, I'm with you, I do think it was closer than, what was it, 116 to 112 or something like that? Yeah, I definitely think it was closer than that, for sure. For sure, definitely. 8-4. Let's see. So you cool with the scorecards, man? It just felt, the feel of it is that it was closer than what 116, 112, right? The feel of it to me, because it was a lot of like close rounds, nip and tuck. You know what I mean? Guys edging rounds. They were really competitive. You can tell they've been in the ring with each other before this point. You could tell they've been in the ring with each other before this point. You could tell they sparred before and all that. You could just tell. I wasn't sold in the whole rivalry, but turned out to be crazy good fight. Yeah, I mean, because that's just done, I think, to try to sell the fight teach because of what their fathers did. You get me? So I think that's the angle that they try to play on, right? That they had a rivalry. Their shit is just different, right? Like the Pops, they had a real legit rivalry. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank, it just seemed natural that they fight at least once, right? Being that they fathers had that type of competitive rivalry. But yeah, I'm with you. But I understand that just for theatrics, man, selling points and get people to pay attention. Stressed out about it, said they was in there throwing forearms and head much. Yeah, they was throwing the kitchen sink stressed out. They just set up a big payday with the rematch. They did. Old school got it. Goodness said, delighted this disgraceful drug cheat loss. Eubank by 3 instead of 4. And 4 rounds, what's the difference? Really, yeah, I think the right man won, bro. Old school. You know what I'm saying? Matt was good with it, fam. Great fight. Hopefully get Ben Tank. Yeah, shout out to Matt. If y'all new in the building, sub to the channel, smash that like button and make sure y'all notifications on. But yeah, we'll never get that though. We won't get nothing like that. I doubt it. Tank ain't fighting above 140, that's for sure. And I'm not even too sold that he'll be at 40 again. You know what I mean? I think if we do, it'll be like a one-off kind of situation or a particular fight. I just feel like the dude has made up his mind and he's comfortable at 35, and that's where he's going to reign at. You know what I mean? Given the fact that he's been in a number of different weight classes already, I feel like it's completely fine for him to stay right where he at. Just as long as he fight the absolute best guys that's available there, you know, I'm cool with it. And I get it. He probably saying it, boys who cry, because remember they had their back and forth where they was sounding like they was going to fight and all this. But nah, Tank ain't. I don't think you ever see Gervonta Davis at welterweight. He's just too small, man. Just too small in my opinion. Arms too short. He'd just be at way too much of a disadvantage up there, in my opinion. And it's just there's no way that he'll give up that kind of advantages to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see him doing it. And it's not about like being scared or not challenging yourself. It's just not a smart move. Like you do that if you strategically pick out a person that, you know what I'm saying, and you just want to go get a win up at welterweight. But if you're trying to campaign up there, that's a whole other ball game. You're going to have some trouble because those guys are way bigger. Way bigger. But, yeah, man, I love this fight today. Not going to lie, man. Shout out to Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. They put on how you supposed to put on, man. They gave us a show, man. They gave us a damn good show. It was no quitting neither guy. They fought with a shit ton of pride. Shout out to Chris Eubank Sr. for pulling up because he had me sold, bro. I thought he wasn't pulling up. He sounded like he didn't like this fight at all. But he came there. I guess it was too much to pass over and support your son in one of his biggest moments. And I know, just like Mo City said, that made a big difference. I know he knows firsthand the influence of having your people there, or the energy that having your guy right there, what you could do for your pops right there. So it kept that dude motivated, spirited. They gave him a hell of a pep talk towards going into the 12th, I believe it was. They gave him a hell of a pep talk in that corner, bro. Joe Watson said, I'd like to see Ben in boots. Hey, man. Hey, Joe, I'm with you. I would too. But the question is Eddie willing to sacrifice one to the other? And in this case, I think it's apparent that Boots beats Conor Benn. At least I feel that way, right? But that's the question, Joe. Is Eddie Hearn willing to sacrifice one to the other? And I don't think he is. That's why you hear him screaming the WBC belt, because that's Mario Barrios. That's the most winnable fight for him out of the welterweight champions, in my opinion, for Conor Benn. And remember this, after a loss, bro, Joe, say Boots ain't even have to have nothing lined up. That just wouldn't be the fight for him because it'd be too risky. You get what I'm saying? It'd be too risky. Like it'll essentially put him in a position where it could be back-to-back losses. And I don't think they want to put, Conor Benn in a situation quite like that just yet. I don't think they want to do that to him, so I think we could probably hope to see Conor Benn fighting at Barrios or something like that, though, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I think that welterweight, yeah, it ain't gonna work out for him down there at all. Conor Benn versus Alexis Rocha for the IBO. I'm not against that fight either, Poy. That's not a bad fight, Alexis Rocha and Conor Benn. But Conor Benn got titles on his mind, man. He got titles on his mind, so I don't know if Barrios don't get a fight with a Manny Pacquiao, I could very well see them accepting a fight with Conor Benn. Got to think he just lost 2. He went up a weight class. Now he coming back down. There's some vulnerability there. So Team Barrios is probably looking at a Conor Benn fight like it's the best option for them too. That's what y'all also got to believe, bro, and understand. The best option for these fighters, like we be thinking the best option for these dudes is to like go in there with the most dangerous guy they could find. That's the best option for us as the fans, right? Us being the boxing fans, that's the best option for us, for them to just, put their guy in there with the most dangerous opponent possible. But nah, their job is to put their guy in situations where they could be successful. And it's not like it's simple as saying the path of the least resistance, but you're going to put your guy in the most winnable fight. So if you're Team Barrios and you looking at the landscape, let's just be honest. Boots is looking very dangerous, bro. Abel Ramos just gave you hell in the back end of your fight. If you Team Barrios, that's not necessarily the guy that you're trying to fight right now, right? Brian Norman, same thing. He looking very young, fresh, dangerous. That's not necessarily top billing either for you, right? But then when you look at a Conor Benn and you thinking about a title defense, if you ain't going the unification route, because you obviously not, those guys got business to take care of anyway. You look at a Conor Benn that just went up to 160, lost the fight. Now he got to come back down. Now it's going to be questions if his punch resistance is compromised in any way at all because he's dropping that weight, coming back down to 47. So there's vulnerability on the side of Conor Benn. So if you're looking at Team Barrios, who's shown to be very vulnerable in their last fight, you get what I'm saying? That seems like the most likely option for him if he's not to get a Pacquiao fight. Because you don't hear them being vocal about wanting that Boots fight. You don't hear them being vocal about wanting the Brian Norman fight. You don't hear this stuff. So it's quiet for a reason. They're not going in those directions. So I could very well see Barrios and Conor Benn happening. Now, I don't know if it'll be next for both, but I can see it. You get what I'm saying? I seen some reports on the Dante about the Barrios and Manny Pacquiao shit. So that's what I'm saying. If he goes that direction, then obviously Conor Benn can't get that fight, but he's gonna have to fight somebody else or sit on the sideline. And I don't think he's trying to do that because he just said he was dealing with inactivity. So Conor Benn trying to fight. Conor Benn trying to be as active as possible, I would think, especially after this loss. I know he don't want to take too much time away from the gym probably before he get back to it. So, because he want to win. He ain't going to feel good about losing to Chris Eubank. I know he's going to be motivated to get back in there. He want to get back on the winning side of things. And I think the only way you can do that is if you get back in there immediately, as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? Avoid any more potential inactivity. Stay as active as possible. But it might be a blessing in disguise if he can't get a Mario Barrios next, right? Because he might need a shake-up. He might need a shake-back fight. He might need a tune-up fight. You never know, just to make sure everything is on the up and up after dropping that weight like that again. I'm telling you, the Butcher was good with it, homie, because that's something to really consider. I don't care who you is. Can't play with your weight like that. Cannot play with your weight like that. You know what I mean? You just had to eat a certain way to bulk up to make a certain weight class. And now you about to drop all that and go back down to what you was doing. That shit might be complicated, more difficult than he thinks. So he got to be careful. He got to be very careful with that. Fighting a big guy like Eubanks, no way Eddie throw him in there with Boots next. That's what I'm saying. That shit is over. That Boots shit is dead. That shit is over with. Fix the cam. Let me get my cameo right. Y'all smash the like button for me. We gonna cook for a little bit, man. But I like this, man. I wonder where Chris Eubank go because there was a lot of talk about why is he fighting a welterweight and he should have fought somebody else and he won. So all of that noise is all that noise could go away. He won now. Got the damn line on my head for my stocking cap, y'all. But he won, so it's on to the next. I don't know where he looking to go though, because he did just fight a welterweight. We being honest, but I think that was just good business for Chris Eubank because it made sense for them to fight. I think the money that they obviously was standing to make, you see that they put this shit in like a stadium, so they people came out to watch that shit. So it made sense, man. It was a good fight. A good fight. Conor Benn showed up. He just didn't win, but he showed up and showed out. Yeah, Boots. That's the thing. I don't think he'll sacrifice Ben to Boots like that. Because I just don't see Conor Benn. That style ain't beating Boots. I don't see it. He get hit too much. And Boots gonna have all you can eat. Buffet for him. They need to get some snack immediately. Man. Eubank still looks strong. He still looks strong. He still looks fast. Just that explosiveness that he had at 47 just wasn't present today in this fight to me. You get me? He still was punching hard though, because he looked like he buzzed Eubank, like I said a couple times, and definitely had him hanging on a little bit. You seen the legs dip a couple times. Eubank was spent. He was tired as hell fighting that little blown up middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Eubanks, man. Eubank was on Chris Eubank was on noodles a time or two in that fight. He definitely was. You're gonna have to compete back at 68. Yeah, he's gonna have to go back to 68, bro. I think that should just be a one-off, like, because of what he had to sacrifice and how it's unnecessary as far as like weight-wise, health-wise. I think he just need to go up to where he should be at 68. And I'm sorry, if I'm him and Conor Benn want to fight me again, an immediate rematch, it got to be at 68. I'm sorry. I won. I won. I'm not killing myself again. I gave you the fight. I met you in the middle, dropped the weight, all that. I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that because I'm telling you now, I think the more healthier Eubank, the 68 Eubank might have knocked him out. So I don't knock Conor Benn because you clearly could see a size difference in the ring. And just imagine if he was able to be a full 68 pounder. Now when he rehydrate from there, you get what I'm saying? The dude couldn't even be over 170 in the second weigh-in. So it was a lot of restriction there for Chris Eubank, and he still went out there and performed. But had he been 100% him, I think he stopped you. I think he knocked you out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think they got paid good. I think they did. Shout out to the Queen, Simply and Mary J. How you feeling today? Yeah, man, that is just a really good fight. But 68, Chris Eubank might stop him. And I can understand it because that's just not where Conor Benn at. It would have put him at too much of a disadvantage, even though, y'all, he asked for it. He asked for that. He said he didn't care how much he weighed. He wasn't worried about the weight. He said all of that stuff, but then turned around and ended up needing a catch weight, rehydration clause. So, yeah, man, I think they paid Chris Eubank some good money, Conor Benn as well. And that's what made the fight. And you seen the crowd that they brought out. So people apparently was interested in seeing them two dudes mix it up, regardless of the weight stipulations, right? They wanted to see it. It's Chris Eubank. It's a Eubank and Benn in the ring. So I think people was in it for that. I think they bought into the rivalry that this was being sold as, even though it wasn't much of a rivalry, but still was a great fight. But I think the next move for Chris Eubank is back to 68 and Conor Benn back to 47. But be smart about it. I hear him talking that WBC stuff. I get it. Y'all two look like two of the more vulnerable, like recognized guys at 47. Barrios being the most vulnerable champion. And I think Conor Benn being one of the more vulnerable contenders at this stage, right? And what makes him so vulnerable is not just that he lost. He went up to do it and lost. Now he got to bring himself back down and resituate himself at 47 where he belonged in the first place. So he better hope everything goes according to plan because that shit could go horribly bad. We've seen it a bunch of times with guys going up and down in weight and how that shit could go for him. So maybe he's smart. Maybe he'll do it the right way and maybe it won't affect him. I don't know, but this was a really good fight. Kano, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Lewis 45 Hondo, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling, my guy? What's good with it? So we'll see. Who's to stop or drop Benn? You don't want that. Nah, I think he made it clear as to what he want. I think he want what's his name? He want Mario Barrios. And now after seeing this fight, you know why. You know what I'm saying? After seeing this fight, you see what Boots look like, see what Brian Norman been looking like. Yeah, I would be calling out Barrios too. I would. It's probably the most makeable fight for both of them, realistically, you know. So at some point though, if he got plans on winning the title and Boots is there, then they're gonna have to fight. They're gonna have to. But I just don't see Eddie Hearn being willing to sacrifice Conor Benn to Boots. I just can't see it. He might try to sell that shit to us, but I want to see him do it. And I just don't know if he's willing to do that. I really don't. I need to work his way back down, 52. So the next fight, yeah, he better take his time or just be smart about it, Dante. Like that weight acclimation and weight fluctuation ain't no joke, especially from going up, then right back down. And this is what Chris Eubank Sr. was talking about. This is why he didn't like this fight, because of the specific sacrifice that each fighter was making. His son obviously shrinking down and depleting himself, and Conor Benn blowing up just to eventually go right back down. Like, you get what I'm saying? And a lot of people feel like once you go up, you stay up. A lot of times that do be the case. If people go up, they stay up. But there are those cases where guys that go up for those one-offs, then they'll come back down. Now, whether or not he's going to be one of those compromised guys, we're going to have to wait and see. But I suppose he'll take some time off after this fight, right? Not much, but I suspect he'll take some time off. You know what I'm saying? Some time off. Eubank was no part of Johnny Beck. Then one Barrios and no one else. You already know, Lee, what it do, homie. And I feel like Eubank will fight people, right? I feel like he'll get in there. But that's gonna be a tough fight, man. Janibek might piece his ass up, bro. Janibek is very technically, fundamentally sound, sharp, got good punching power. Because Eubank with those holes in the defense and the way he leave himself open at times, man, I see Janibek being able to eat pretty good. Janibek would be able to eat against him, bro. He would. He'd be able to eat. He'd be able to eat against him, man. So, be a risky fight. That's why. And again, I told y'all it's not that guys are scared, but they want like favorable matchups or, you know, fights that are winnable. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, Janibek is a handful. He's going to give you everything you need. He's going to give you everything you need. These was all right fights too. But you know what? Not for nothing. This card was solid too, though. The card was solid. It's just the main event really delivered, right? I think that was the best fight on the card. But you had Brandon Glatton and Chris Billiam Smith. That was a good fight, right? You had a Yard. Is he ready for the Mexican Monster? The thing is like he ready for whoever, right? The Butcher. But the question is, will he beat him? He won't beat him. If you got gas tank issues, David Benavidez is probably not the right matchup for you. Just match on some matchup shit, on some business shit, not trying to be tough. Listen, I'm with all fights. I love to see it, but I got my suspicion how that fight goes because of what both guys do and where Anthony Yard usually lacks. Like, what's his issues? Gas tank, being economical at times with his punches. That's not going to work against Benavidez. He getting stopped. You can't have gas tank issues and be economical with the punches. That's a double negative. That's enough to get you stopped from Benavidez. It'd be a rough night's work. I mean, he could make it out the fight, but I don't see him winning because of the activity. Benavidez is going to work. Like, and unless you're able to slow down his punch output and his work rate, you're in trouble. I haven't really seen people able to do that with Benavidez. You know, Caleb Plant was able to neutralize the output in spots by controlling range and distance throughout some of them rounds in that first part of the fight. But you see, as the rounds went on, it got harder to maintain the distance control, and Benavidez just became a whole different animal. Yeah, ain't playing around with Johnny back. Benavidez with Yard, it's gonna get ugly. Yeah, it's gonna get ugly for Yard, and nobody with gas tank issues and economical with their punches is gonna enjoy a fight with Benavidez. That is not the guy you want to be in there with, because he got the opposite of that. He gonna give you all the punches, he got all the work rate you can handle, and he got a gas tank for days. You get what I'm saying? And he got a chin if you get a good shot in there, because you know Yard can punch. But like I said, like I get it. Him and Lyndon Arthur, they know each other, but that being the third fight, I just feel like you got to show more separation than what he did. I know he beat the kid again tonight, but I wasn't impressive. I just wasn't impressive. You get me? I expect more from Yard, a little bit more from Yard. That's a guy you've seen 2 times already before. You were supposed to beat him a little more convincingly. To me, if you are, on the level where you can compete for titles and fight guys as dangerous as Benavidez, that'd be all wrong. All wrong for him. But who knows if it could happen? I mean, they there. So, yeah, he'll hurt Yard. I just think he'll drown him. I could see a later stoppage, too. I could see Benavidez wearing him down late. Yard looked like he was tired in this fight. You know what I'm saying? And Lyndon Arthur, he ain't the busiest guy, but just imagine the pressure and the rest that you're going to be under with Benavidez pressing you, right? So I could see late stoppage for sure. I got a late stoppage for Benavidez. All right, it's decent. He ain't getting any younger. Nope. He good, but he, shout out to Seawood. Yeah, he said stop by 9. I'm with you. People stopped Lyndon recently, so Yard should have finished him. Yeah, he did. So, and Yard stopped him in the 4th round. I think like the 4th round of their rematch. So this third fight, I don't understand what it was for, because the second fight kind of solidified it for me. Like, you get me, but they was 1-1, so that was a tiebreaker. I get it, but we ain't necessarily need a third. We ain't necessarily need that. We ain't really need that. He already knocked him out round 4. Yeah, I think Bevel dropped him. I don't know if he stopped. I know he dropped. I think he dropped him to the body or something like that. Maybe. I think that was Bevel. But still, he already got stopped by Yard, and Yard just. It's like the rounds was. Did anybody feel like this was a trilogy? This didn't feel like a trilogy to me at all. It just felt like another fight. Like, it didn't seem like this was a rematch or a trilogy. It just like I didn't get those vibes. So I felt like the fight just was another close fight. And I guess some guys, they're gonna compete with you in that way. But if y'all are talking about, the top level, you gotta beat guys like that you've already knocked out early in the fight. Got to beat them more convincingly than that. That's all. Yeah, it did. The Butcher, it did. That right there gets you stopped against Benavidez. Like, if he'd have went in the Benavidez fight with the same game plan he had today, he gets stopped. Get what I'm saying? It wasn't impressive. And y'all know me, I give everybody just due. I give them credit for winning, but you want those performances that people could feel like, nah, it ain't just a win. Like, you want to kind of be a little more convincing than that. That's all I'm saying. And it was just too close. It was like just too competitive. There wasn't a whole lot of clean flush shots landing too. Like, I don't know, accuracy looked a bit off. I don't know. I didn't too much like this performance today from Yard. To be fair. But, shout out to him, though. I still rock with him. Still lines in the camp, but I've seen better performances from him. Beaver stops in that. Yeah, he stopped that guy. Yeah, now I think Beaver might have put him down, I think. Or somebody put him down to the body, hurt him to the body, something like that. Not sure if it was Beaver, though. But it did. It felt like a sparring match, bro. It felt just like a sparring match. It just annoys me that they all got the attributes, but they're not using them to the best of their ability. Yard is fast and strong. He can't move, but he just doesn't have that it factor. Yard versus Buasi is next. That's a good one. That's a dank. That's a perfect. That's perfect. They definitely need to run it. It was already some talks about them fighting anyway. Buasi trying to get back in the mix. He is coming off a loss. I don't know. That might be too dangerous of a get back fight though. Because I think Anthony Yard definitely could beat Buasi. The holes that Buasi got in his game, he got some similar issues that Yard has. You know what I'm saying? And just more inexperience on his side too. So I know it's a dangerous fight for him, but I'm with it. I like that fight. I think that's a really good fight for both guys. Question is, will they try to get at to Buatsi coming off the Callum Smith loss? Remember, he just lost to Callum Smith. Took his first L. Yeah, he was getting hit a lot, bro. He was getting hit a lot, and I told you, I was saying that that's always been his problem. Like he get hit, and when he get hit, he kind of like freeze when he get hit, and he leave room to get hit more. Like it's strange with Buatsi, but he a dog though. He's still a dog, and he can box. But I'm just not surprised that he lost. Like I always seen them little holes in his game. I wasn't super high on him. Like he's good though. Don't get it wrong. Like dude could fight. The undercard fights both coming from a W. Yeah, Smith versus Yard. Yeah, that's a good one too. It's a really good fight, bro. It's a really good fight. It's a really good fight. Morel just lost and hopping back in here. Undefeated puncher. Yeah, Morel don't give a damn, Roja. I don't give a damn. But I'm just saying, shit, some people move different or allow guys to move different. I'm just saying, would Buatsi be thinking Anthony Yard, because he was in the building, would he be thinking Anthony Yard, you know what I mean, after a loss? Would his team be thinking Anthony Yard? I'm with it, though. I'm with it. I'm with it. That's a really good fight. Or him, Callum Smith. Callum Smith is dangerous at 75. Smith at middleweight. Oh, yeah. Beefy, Liam. Beefy got beat up by Aaron McKinnon today. Yeah, he got beat up pretty good, bro. Got beat up pretty good. Beefy. His best days was behind him, man. So it was a pretty good card. That fight was entertaining, but he was getting beat up. Liam Smith was getting beat up by Aaron McKinnon. He didn't get stopped, but he got beat up pretty good. Siobhan Clark, Chev Clark, and Vidal Riley fought. That fight was solid. Vidal Riley fought a good fight all the way through. He beat Chev Clark, man. I could tell Chev Clark too economical. He was way too relaxed. I thought that was a good thing initially when I was watching it early. But as the rounds progressed, I was like, this dude fights so relaxed. He don't fight with enough of a sense of urgency. And it's going to backfire in this fight. And Vidal Riley just kept outboxing him. He just outboxed Chev Clark throughout the whole fight for the most part. He just outboxed him clean outboxing, man. And Canelo versus Eubank, bro. Might. Nothing surprised me with Nello. Nothing. But yeah, Chev Clark got outboxed tonight as well, man. Vidal Riley moved on to 13-0. Chev Clark lost his second fight now. Chris Billiam Smith beat Brandon Gladden. That was an interesting scrap. But anytime I see a guy with a brace on his leg, I already think he compromised. You know what I mean? Brandon Gladden had that brace on his leg. I didn't like that brace, man. Yeah, Riley is smart. He did. He's smart. He fought a really smart, disciplined fight, bro. And he just beat Chev Clark to the punch, just outboxed him. He gave him a lesson, and Chev Clark was saying it's a little too soon for him. No, it ain't. He had more fights than you. That's why I was like, how the hell is it too soon? Peace to the Queen, Lisa. How you feeling today? You bring the Reserve Canelo fight, man. That's easy knockout. Yeah, he might get stopped. Messing around. Canelo might stop him. He started on the YouTube box. That's how he's known. Yeah, that's crazy. But now Riley, if he a YouTube guy, if he started that way, that's crazy because he looked good tonight. He boxed Shev Clark up, man. I ain't gonna lie. Wasn't the most craziest entertaining fight, but it was a good scrap. Hamza doesn't destroy Belinga. Canelo versus Eubank in September. Ray said Ben versus Eubank was better than expected, bro. Great fight. Yeah, that definitely was a great fight. Ben and Eubank was a great fight. Fun all the way through, man. They gave it everything. They left it in the ring. Those are kind of fights that you, like I said, I know you don't want to lose, but you don't hang your head with that. You know what I mean? That's not the kind of fight that you feel sorry for yourself. Yeah, it's gonna sting because you lost and you trained your ass off and you wanted to win, but you got to think about the work that you actually did put out and just build off it, learn from the mistakes so you can get better. You know what I mean? But that was a real fight. Them dudes had to earn each other's respect. I know that. I know they did. They earned each other's respect, and that's when you know it was one of them fights. You know what I mean? It was one of them. They went at it, bro. They went to war. They went to war. It was heating up. Like I said, it got to a point where Chris Eubank was landing some really good eye-catching shots, knocking Conor Benn head back and clipping him in between shots clean. So good card, though. Good card this afternoon, though, man. How solid are the Packers Barrios rumors? I don't know. It seemed like it's growing a little bit of legs, man. I got to double check, though, Roger. That's why I ain't really reporting nothing on it. I'm seeing it, but I gotta go, ask a couple people to see if they ears to the street, see what they hearing. Oh, okay. Okay, Vidal trained at Floyd's gym. Okay, that's what's up. But yeah, Roger, I'm gonna get back to you on that one. I'm gonna go ask a couple people. I want to double check because I'm hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Barrios quiet as hell, Roger, man. He quiet, man. Barrios been on the chill. He need to get in the mix too. He need to enter into the unification conversation. He the only one that ain't in the unification conversation right now. The other two are. It's just him. We gotta welcome Barrios. Somebody let Barrios know he already invited to the party. He got one of the trinkets, bro. He got a belt. He already invited to the party, bro. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That last fight was grueling, though, so I'm not even surprised that he taking some time off. As doctors urged him to go immediately. Yeah, damn. His shit was swelled up, though, bad, bro. His face all swelled up. He took a lot of shots, bro. Eubank was getting punched. Bad when Thurman's more active than you. Yeah, facts. Bad was that fight of the year. We gotta go at it. Yeah. Shout out to Behind the Hands. Yeah, Eubank face is all swallowed up. He got pumpkin head, Conor Benn gave him the pumpkin head, bro. Conor Benn gave him the pumpkin head. And this some shit. There's some shit that Eubank, yeah, he was punching on him, man. His face, like his face was like swollen. When he was talking, it looked like you could see it. He had a lot of swelling by the face and cheeks. That's probably why they urged him to go to the hospital, all that swelling. Then go back down. But Ben looked a little, swelled up too. Just not as bad. At 160, Conor is undersized. Absolutely he is. Yeah, he got some fights there. The question is, do he want to fight the absolute best of the best? Yep, he won, but at what cost? Looking like Marty Marr, man. At the Tommy the Hitman Hearns got it. Post-fight was Barrow's face. Hey, nah, I don't know. You know what, Rosia? I thought that was the worst. But you know what was worse than that to me? Barrios after he fought Ramos. Go look at it again, bro. His whole face was like swollen. His eye was shut. Like he looked crazy. And how I know, because I recently did a video where I had to use the pictures. I was like, damn, I don't even remember him looking that bad. But he was looking bad after the Ramos fight. His face looked crazy. See, with Keith Thurman just had his nose looking wild. Like his nose was looking like, I don't know, that shit was looking crazy. But Ramos had the whole, like, his whole side of his face, like, really swelled bad. And then, like, eye was, like, messed up. I was like, damn, bro. He was getting his ass taxed. He should have been going to the body. Yeah. He should have went to the, both guys should have went to the body more, too. Yeah. Remember Lara Roja? I don't know if you seen the fight back in the day when Lara fought Paul Williams. When Lara fought Paul Williams back in the day, he had that hematoma on his head. That shit looked crazy. Had that big ass, it was like that shit looked wild. He was still fighting with it. All right, I got a Myra Figueroa problem. Oh yeah. Barrios look like Rocky. I'm telling you. And not the Stallone Rocky. Nah, I like Barrios. I rock with Barrios. He just, some of them fights been a little grueling for him. So, the thoughts of him getting put in a Boots fight might be bad matchmaking at this point. Because if Ramos did that to you, Boots is going to do a lot worse and a lot faster. So, it's just really tricky. I got the clash of heads, though. Not a beating. Yeah, nah. That wasn't from a beating, but, I'm just saying the swelling looked crazy, didn't it? Like he was growing another little head. He actually won that fight to me, Rosa. They actually robbed him. I thought he beat Paul Williams. He was countering the absolute hell out of him. I thought he beat him. Johnny Back is a machine. GGG 2.0. Yeah, I like Johnny Back. He can fight. Barrios is the way. Cough that strap up. Yeah, I'm telling you, they looking at him as vulnerable. I'm trying to tell y'all. I know it. Lara versus Eubank can work. It's Eubank's best chance to get chance to beat a good name because of age. Shit, man. Lara mess around and snipe his ass. Lara's pretty sharp in his old age, man. He's nice, man. Lara's pretty nice, y'all. But, man, this was a good card, man. Shout out to Chris Eubank and Conor Benn, man. Good night, good afternoon in boxing, man. I enjoyed the card, man. Let's see what they do next. Let's see where the rest of the guys on the card go. From Chris Billum Smith, Brandon Gladden. I don't like that sleeve on the leg. Chev Clark, I don't know where he going. That's took another loss. Riley is on the come up. Anthony Yard is in the mix. Liam Smith, he's definitely seen better days. I never envisioned him at middleweight anyway. And I don't think he's going to have a lot of wins up there. I ain't going to lie to you. And Chris Eubank, take your ass back to 68. Conor, go back to 47. Yeah, I like Lara, too. He been getting more knockouts in the later stages of his career than he did when he was early. You know what I mean? Younger. Jay Bean, what it do? Eubanks can't make 160. Nah, he just need to leave 160 alone. After what we just seen, leave 160 the hell alone. And if you fight Conor Benn again, it better be at some type of, you better be up at the next weight class. Seen Billy Joe looking like Nate Newton. Yeah, they didn't let him in. I think he was trying to go in Chris Eubank locker room. One of them. They ain't let him in, though. So he was arguing, talking shit. Yeah, Lara and that mess around 1-2, you'll knock you out, bro. Catch you with that shot you don't see. I'm telling you. I'm with you, Lisa. I like Lara. I always have. And Lara beat Canelo still to this day. I don't care what nobody say. Let me say Marquise Taylor flew to WBA to state his cause of fighting Lara, at 160 in return to WBA. Marquise, moved Marquise up in the ranks at 54. You was telling me. That's crazy. Crazy work. Yeah, they ain't let him in the changing rooms and he was pissed off. Yeah, take his ass back to 68. The Maul, I had seen it. Maul, man, it's tough. You're supposed to watch the hand wrapping the Eubank. Yeah, they wasn't beat. They was like, you ain't getting in. He told Eubank's man that he's a nobody. Conor Benn can beat Tank. I don't know. You just never see that fight because Conor Benn is a welterweight. I mean, at worst. He's a welterweight, and Tank Davis a lightweight. I don't think you'll ever see him. Conor Benn ain't gonna meet him at no catchweight, and I don't think he's gonna fight at one either. So, Conor Benn would be a more dangerous fight than what people think because of the size, though. Not the skill and talent, the size. Billy says, should he get in Eubank head? He beat him up already. Yeah, yeah, that's like you ain't getting in there. Yeah, the weight classes, man. It's the weight classes. It'd be a tough fight because of the weight classes alone. But skill-wise and talent-wise, that's something different. I mean, when people ask for Tank to fight guys that's considerably bigger than him, that's because they probably want to see him lose. Conor Benn need to focus on guys at 47, right? Tank he got real smoke and fish to fry at 35, right? With Conor Benn, you got guys like Barrios, Brian Norman, and Boots Ennis that got titles. He should be going after one of those guys. You know what I mean? Unless he getting a shakeback fight first, and then he should be going after one of those guys. You know what I mean? Tank. I don't want to see no Tank and Conor Benn. I'm not even interested in it. Saki versus Conor Benn. Conor Benn to make good fights with most of these guys. Because he won't just get straight blew out by most guys outside of Boots. I think Boots destroys him. But other than that, I think he'll be competitive with just about anybody else. I think Brian Norman will beat him too. Conor Benn and Boots. My favorite Boots was a marketable fight. No, it's a good fight. Conor Benn and Boots is a good fight. As long as it lasts. It's a good fight. It's one that should happen. In fact, if Conor Benn get himself back to 47 and in the mix. Like, let's say if everything go according to his plans and he get the Mario Barrios fight. Hell yeah, make the fight. Make the fight. Mills Rod, what it do? My guy. What's good with it, bro? You said they setting it up. They probably are. They gonna make some things happen, y'all. Yeah, he do. Yeah, Tank do need to rematch Lamont. Eddie Hearn say he don't think it's gonna happen though. We're gonna talk about that on another date too. I just wanted to come here and build for a little bit, talk about this fight, quick post fight. It was a good afternoon of boxing, man, and both guys showed up. Yeah, I heard something about July 19th. I did. So hopefully that's the date for the rematch, and we just get to see it, man. Lamont in the gym, he working. Pretty sure Tank is somewhere working. And dudes is ready to go in there and get that rematch popping, man. But shout out to everybody pulling up, rocking out, man. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. Yeah, Eddie Hearn, I mean, I don't know exactly where the information is coming from, but it's coming from somewhere, I'll say that, because they keep talking about Tank this and Tank that, and ain't nobody coming out and refuting it. You get what I'm saying? That's the disturbing part. Nobody's saying he tripping. Like, you get what I'm saying? Any other time they come out and they'll say he just talking, but he keep being very specific about Tank and what is it? Jake Paul. D-Man, my bro, what it do? My bro, they shook Ben up. Yeah, Senior came in the joint, man. Ace, my God, you already know, man. But much love to everybody. I appreciate y'all pulling up to listen to this, quick little post-fight build, man. Just wanted to let y'all know we still working. We seen the fights. We enjoyed them. And, we probably going to come back. We're going to probably come back tomorrow and build some more, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But much love to everybody, man. Hit the like button for your boy on the way out. Tank versus Jake Paul. Yeah, it's a video game fight. That's like some casual stuff. It's like some, what is it called? What is it? I can't even think of the name. No, exhibition type fight. That's what that is. Yard, man, Yard did well, bro. Shout out to Yard. Yard did well. Yard did well. Yard did his thing, but if we talk about competing at the top of the division, where that's obviously where he's looking ahead, it's gonna be tough, right? Like somebody mentioned Benavidez, that's a terrible style matchup, it's a terrible fight for him, I think, in my opinion. And but he did solid, right? I know Lyndon Arthur, he was healthy this fight, he was coming to fight. I know he'd been knocked out in the rematch, but he won the first one or whatever. But he did solid, right? He did decent, but those performances won't win you a title at 75. I think it's fair to say that, right? Those performances don't win you a title at 75. Ben versus Darius versus Ben is a good fight. Yeah, it is. Also be a win-win for Matchroom. So yeah, shout out to Anthony Naro, and big shout out to the Queen Lisa, always showing much love in the Cash App for the early. As she said, for happy early birthday, man. Shout out to the Queen, man. Big shout out, man. Supporting the grind as always, and the birthday. I truly appreciate you. Much love to the Queen Lisa.
Like me.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Much love to the Queen. Appreciate you as always. Y'all need to get with a real train so he can get his head out of the way. It's like the muscles, man. I think his muscles gonna always be his downfall. Right? He's just a muscular guy. I think it burns so much oxygen in the ring. You got guys that'll push the pace as well. It's a fight. Like it's too much working against him as far as his gas tank. I think that's always going to get in the way at the top level. Being economical with his punches is going to get in the way. Like, you get me? So I don't know. I think Yard is who he is, still a good fighter. He'll win fights. But the question is, will he ever win a title up there at 75? And I just don't know. I don't think so. You got guys like Benavidez floating around, man. It's going to be tough. You got young, hungry lions like David Morrell hanging around. It's going to be tough to win a title up there. I mean, Beavles, the better Beavs is still there. Like, it's going to be tough. It's really difficult to win up there. Whitaker wasn't. I already knew he was, bro. Listen, the Butcher. I was cool with the showboating that Ben Whitaker be doing because as long as that's who he really is at heart, I'm cool with it. As long as he ain't trying to be nobody when he does the stuff that he do, I'm cool with it. But he also showed me that he knows how to turn that off or dial it back and just focus on the task at hand while giving you a little flair, some looks, and a little bit of showboating, but be a little more tasteful with it and more focused on the job at hand. And that's what you got in that rematch with the, with the kid Cameron that he just beat up in the rematch. But I wasn't surprised that he was going to do that. I knew he could box like that. It's just like whenever we see somebody do things that we're not a fan of, we kind of knock them, right? And kind of dismiss them as a talent. Ben Whitaker could fight, bro. Like, these dudes be world-class fighters, Olympic pedigree, different things like that. But he's just a breath of fresh air. He's something different. I like to see him do what he's doing. As long as what he is doing is truly Ben Whitaker and not nobody else, let him do him. If he get beat doing him, I'm pretty sure he can live with that. You get what I'm saying? But he showed me that he can, hey, man, he knew what was on the line and he couldn't be as reckless and as playful as he was in the past with this guy in his rematch. He had to be a bit more serious, and he was, and he hurt this dude and he stopped him. People said the stoppage was a little premature, but if you look at it, Buddy didn't really do too much complaining, I don't think. I think he was legit hurt. Just is what it is. It's one of those things, man. Ben Whitaker's super entertaining to me. He can get focused when it's time. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Be right. He can focus up. So that alone, I'm completely fine with his showboat. Like, everybody, it's crazy that we expect everybody to be the same type of guy. Like, nah, man, it's gonna be some people that's flashy, that's like just choose to have fun with it, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it, especially if it's some substance behind it. And I think with the way he handled himself in this rematch in a fight that people thought he got out of in the first fight, right? They thought he threw his man over the ropes. This is what people say. He was looking for a way out. He quit, all of that. He showed you some substance behind that flair. He's not just flair. And I know this wasn't no world beater or nothing that he was fighting, but very experienced guy nonetheless that did give him a interesting scrap in that first one before it ended. So he showed you a substance behind that flair and that flash, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I love boxing, bro. All types of different styles. The purest boxers are the purest. Like, I love them too. I just like to see people do them. As long as what you're doing is what you do, I can make peace with it. You know, certain people I ain't going to, favor certain styles, but for the most part, I just love boxing. Ben Whitaker, I could separate the flash from the substance. I can see the substance that's there with the flash, right? I can see the boxing ability, the pedigree. You can see the reflexes, right? The IQ. the foot speed, right? You could see a number of different things. That's a real talent there, but people don't know how to separate the talent from what they don't like about what he's showing you with the talent, right? And I don't be mad at nobody for doing them. If you're doing you, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So go out there and do you. That's fine. But he settled down in this rematch and he really went to work and he showed me what he can do. Going to the body, just picking his shots, being smart, being fast, you know what I mean? Getting his head off the line, being smart defensively, right? Just being aware and being conscious of, you know what I mean, the challenge in front of him. So I'm cool with Ben Whitaker. I like Ben Whitaker, bro. I do. But again, man, big shout out to everybody, man. Much love again to the Queen Lisa, man. Always supporting the grind. Tomorrow is the B-Day. I think we might come back. We might do a little boxing stream, man. I said I mess around and do a marathon. Depending on how I feel, but we probably definitely do a little boxing stream on a Sunday because I always do birthday streams. Why not? We're going to keep the tradition going, man. We're going to keep building, y'all. Hitman was good with it. Yeah, that was a great fight, bro. Shout out to the UK. That was a great fight. Great fight. They made the UK proud, both of them dudes, man. Both of them dudes were really good performances on both sides. Spirited guys. It was a war of attrition. They had to really go for it. I know both fathers is proud, probably a little gutted, the Benns, because they came up short, but that man showed out. That kid showed out. He ain't no 60-pounder, but he showed up. He showed up like one. But that's all I got, man. Quick post-fight build, man. Much love to everybody, man. Enjoy the rest of this good Saturday, and I'll see y'all tomorrow on the Born Day, and we're going to build on some more boxing, y'all. So with that, peace to the fam.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, with Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
In the building. Make sure y'all subscribe to Jusdueboxing, the best boxing talk on YouTube.
Jusdueboxing in the building, 4 o'clock shorty, man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. He's going to be live today at 4 o'clock, man. And he's going to be spewing some good stuff as he always do with an unbiased approach, man. He's probably the most unbiased channel on YouTube.
What's going on? And one of my favorite channels, if y'all into that pugilistic perfection, if y'all into that boxing, that's that boy Jusdueboxing here on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out Jusdueboxing, the only unbiased boxing channel on YouTube, because I am definitely biased when I talk about boxing. So
as always, we got to shout out everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to my brother Jusdu. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to Just, man. Just doing a hell of a job over there. Had a great interview today. The brother, and I say it respectfully, one of the most non-biased individuals that I've ever heard speak on the sport of boxing. And I got a lot of love and respect for my brother Jess, man. And right now we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother.